I don't know about those fancy words, but revenge, yeah. Hate, those are the things that saw me through. How can you not hate a scurvy bastard who's so dirt low that he pumps another slug in an hombre after he's already gunned him down? I never in my life resorted to anything like that. If I put a man down, that was the end of it. Usually when I put him down, it was permanent-like anyway. But on the rare occasions I planted a slug in them and they still had some life left, I sure as hell never saw fit to drill him again once he was on the ground. Yet that's the way Tuscarora done me. The cur never would have gotten the bulge on me in the first place if he hadn't slickered me with that damn saloon whore, Gabriella. She climbed all over me and threw on a hug that partly pinned my gun arm. I knew the second her fat ass landed on my lap that it was a setup, but I wasn't able to dump her in clear leather fast enough. Tuscarora's colt was already spitting lead, and after I hit the floor, the villainous bastard stood over me and shot me a second time.
And this was in Galveston, you say?
Blessingame was writing furiously in his tablet, trying to keep up with the details of what Bill was saying. Bill nodded.
That's right, Galveston. A place called the Lacey Garter Saloon.
But even with 2 bullets in you, one of them fired at point-blank range, you managed to survive.
That's right. There was enough blood to make them think I was done for. So they dragged me into an alley out back and left me for the rats. But a different kind of rat found me there, a wharf rat. An old rummy who had seen what they did to me and didn't like it. He'd done some doctoring in the late war. The things he saw was what drove him to the rum, he claimed, and was somehow able to patch me up and pull me through. He had some kind of cockeyed notion he was evening the scales some for all the brave young lads he'd lost on the battlefields.
Blessingame shook his head in wonder.
What an amazing tale. What became of him, the wharf rat, or doctor, I mean?
He got knifed for his shoes one night when he went out late for a fresh bottle of hooch. Whoever did it slit his throat from ear to ear for a broken down pair of shoes. When I found him, even though he had been able to save me, there wasn't a thing I could do for him.
The memory made him reach for the bottle of whiskey on the table between them and tip it up for a long gulp, not bothering with the glass. Blessingame watched, unsure what to say. Bill was in his middle 40s, but looked older, the ravages of a hard life having added nearly a decade appearance-wise. He had a flat, cleanly shaven face framed by gray-flecked, reddish hair that fell unevenly past his collar on the sides and down the back of his neck. His eyes were sunk back in shadowy sockets, his cheeks hollowed, almost gaunt-looking, and the lines around his mouth cut deep, like cracks in water-starved ground. His attire was of top quality. Dark blue frock coat, striped trousers tucked into high boots that reached to just below the knee, pale blue vest with a gold watch chain on prominent display. A fedora-style hat was perched just so atop his head, and the long-barreled Colt 45 riding on his hip was encased in a polished black holster and was made easily accessible by the careful manner in which he sat and the way his coat was unbuttoned and swept back. Like the man's physical features, the clothing showed no small amount of wear. Yet overriding everything, there remained about him, for anyone who knew what to look for, an air of alertness, a readiness, like a cagey old cougar poised for the hunt.
Once I was healed the rest of the way and lit out of there, I should have left that whole rotten wharf in ashes behind me.